There's a man in a dented sedan next to you at a red light, and in about 9 seconds, you are going to feel sorry for him. That will be the most expensive mistake of your life. Because he is a millionaire, and you, in the nicer car, are broke, and by the end of this, you are going to understand exactly how the two of you got switched. Rewind those 9 seconds. You are sitting at the light on a Tuesday, and for one moment, you feel like you made it. A gleaming SUV that still smells new. A watch on your wrist that cost more than your first car. The badge on the hood, the address you are driving home to, the shoes. Everything about you says one clean thing to the world. This person is doing well. You can almost feel the sentence sitting on your skin like warmth. And then you glance to your left. Dented sedan, maybe 12 years old, one hubcap missing. A man in a plain gray shirt, elbow on the window, humming to the radio, completely at ease. And you feel it before you can stop it, a small, warm flash of pity. Poor guy. And underneath the pity, quieter, the thing you actually came for. Relief. At least that is not me. Hold that feeling, because it is about to flip on you. That man is quietly, completely, boringly rich. Paid off house. Money working for him in rooms you will never see. And you, in the beautiful SUV, are broke. Let me be exact, because broke is not the same as having no money. It means you owe more than you own. Add up everything you have, subtract everything you owe, and the number is negative. You are underwater, and you have no idea, because for years you have been staring at the wrong number, and nobody ever told you it was the wrong one. You did this to yourself, on purpose. One reasonable, admired, completely normal decision at a time. And here's the part that should chill you. At every single step, it felt like winning. So let me show you the exact trap you are standing in, because it has a shape, and once you see the shape, you cannot unsee it. It runs on one quiet confusion in your head that has been there so long you think it is just common sense. We are going to find it in the next 60 seconds. This is money mind. Here are 2 words your brain treats as one word, and they are not even close. Looking rich and being rich. Watch how fast they blur. Picture a wealthy person right now. Actually see them. What is in the picture? The car, the watch, the house on the hill, the clothes. Notice something. Every single thing you just imagined was a thing you can see with your eyes. And that is the trap, already closing around you, because not one of those things is wealth. Every one of them is a photograph of wealth. A costume worn by a body you never checked was there. So let me tell you what wealth actually is, in the plainest words possible, because almost nobody sits you down and says it. Wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Read that again slower. It is not the money that comes in. It is the money that is still yours after everything goes back out. Picture 2 taps into a sink. Money pours in the top. Money drains out the bottom. And wealth is only ever the water left sitting in the sink. 2 people can earn the exact same salary, pour in the exact same amount, and one sink is filling up while the other is bone dry, and the only difference is how much they let drain out the bottom. So look again at the man in the dented car. No car payment draining out. A house fully paid for, so no mortgage draining out. Money quietly sitting and growing where you cannot see it from a traffic light. His sink is full. And you, in the beautiful SUV, are staring at a driveway full of things that still belong to the bank. Wearing a watch you are paying interest on, in a house that owns you more than you own it. Your taps are wide open at the bottom. You did not buy wealth, you bought the photograph of it. And here is the cruel little piece of maths at the center of everything, and it is the reason this video exists. The photograph is not cheap. It is never paid for with spare money you had lying around. It is paid for with the exact money that would have made you actually rich. Remember that. Because in a minute I am going to show you where that money goes, and who is waiting at the end to catch it. So why do we do it? Why do you reach, every single time, for the version you can be seen in? Because you are wired to send a signal. This is old, and it is deep, older than money itself. Long before bank accounts, your brain learned to read visible symbols as a fast shortcut for where a stranger stands. Nice pelt, good spear, this one is doing well. Treat them with respect. Today the pelt is a car and the spear is a watch, but the wiring is identical. The car in the driveway, the logo on the bag, the round of drinks you insist on buying. Each one is a small flare you fire up into the sky that says, "Look, I am doing well. I am safe. I am worth taking seriously." And the flare works. For about 4 seconds. Write that number down, 4 seconds. Because that is the entire length of the trap. The stranger glances, registers it, and forgets you before the light turns green. Because every one of those signals is a trade, and it is always the same trade. You hand over a piece of your future in exchange for a few seconds of being seen a certain way by people who will not remember you at all. Watch the costume go on, one piece at a time. The car. Not just the sticker price, the payment, every month, plus the quiet way it bleeds value the second you drive it off the lot. So you are paying more and more to own a thing that is worth less and less. The watch, the bag, the logo. Each one a multiple of what the plain version costs. And the only thing the extra money buys is the part other people can see. The address, in a house stretched just past what you can carry, because of the street it sits on and who might notice. The clothes. The dinners where you reach fast for the bill. The holiday you post before you have finished paying for it. None of these is wealth. Every one of them is a conversion. And I want that word to stick because it is the whole game. You are taking the raw material that turns into real wealth, the gap, the money that was supposed to stay in the sink, and you are burning it, cleanly and cheerfully, for applause that nobody is actually giving you. Now, you might be thinking, fine, but this is a problem for people who cannot afford it. More money would fix this. Hold that thought, because it is the most dangerous one in the whole video, and I am about to break it in half. Here is the part that should genuinely unsettle you. More money does not save you from this trap. It usually just speeds it up. Two researchers, Thomas Stanley and William Danko, spent years actually studying millionaires, real ones, up close, and wrote it down in a book called The Millionaire Next Door. And what they found is almost the opposite of what you would guess. The people who look the richest are very often the ones holding the least. And the people quietly sitting on real fortunes tend to look completely, forgettably, ordinary. The millionaire, it turns out, is far more likely to be the guy next door in the plain shirt than the guy in the magazine. They gave the two types names. On one side, the people who take whatever they earn and turn it into wealth that stays. On the other, the people who take whatever they earn and turn it into a lifestyle you can see. And here is the gut punch buried in their numbers. The group most likely to look rich and be broke was very often the high earners. The lawyer, the surgeon, the executive on the enormous salary, living right at the razor edge of it, because a big income comes wrapped in big expectations to perform a big life. Sit with that, because it quietly breaks the exact thing you have been chasing your whole life. You can earn $300,000 a year and be poorer, actually poorer, than the plumber who earns a third of that. Not because the plumber is smarter than you, because the plumber kept the gap, and you spent yours looking like a man who did not need to keep anything. Say it one more way so it lands. The income was never the wealth. The income is just the raw material coming in the top tap. The gap is the wealth. And the costume eats the gap. So the bigger your income gets, the bigger the costume everyone expects you to wear, and the faster it eats. That raise you have been praying for is not the way out. Handed to the person you are right now, it is just a bigger shovel. So if earning more does not free you, and you cannot seem to stop performing, then you are not in a bad deal anymore. You are in a cage. Let me show you the bars. Because once you put the costume on, you find you cannot take it off. This is where the trap stops being expensive and turns into a prison. Visible wealth only works if you keep it up, forever. The first nice car sets a new floor under you. Now the old car would be a visible step down, and a step down gets noticed, and being noticed going backward feels like failing in public. So the next car has to at least match. Then the house has to match the car. Then the holidays have to match the house. Every rung you climb quietly becomes your new bottom, the lowest you are allowed to go. And you can never climb back down without an audience watching you shrink. So at some point you are not buying things anymore. You are paying rent on an image. A monthly fee, for the rest of your life, just to keep being the person you already told everyone you were. and you perform it every single day, in full costume, for an audience that is barely watching, that honestly could not describe your car an hour after seeing it. Now look at what the costume actually cost you. Not just the money, it cost you your options. The freedom to walk away from the job that is hollowing you out. The freedom to take the risk, to start the thing, to breathe for one quiet month. All of it traded away, because a person wearing that much visible wealth cannot survive a single quiet month without the whole illusion cracking. You built a beautiful cage, you hung the door with your own 2 hands, and the lock, the only lock, is other people's opinion of you. And you would keep paying that rent forever, you would, except for one thing I have been holding back. Because there is a detail about this cage that changes everything, and it is the cruelest part of the whole story. The costume does not even work. Think hard about who you are performing for. The people you are straining to impress, the ones in the other nice cars, wearing the other watches, standing in the other kitchens. They are not impressed. They cannot be. They are performing too. They are in costume too, most of them stretched just as thin, scared just as quietly, buying the exact same 4 seconds of applause from you that you are buying from them. Picture it clearly. Everybody in the theater is dressed up as someone who owns the theater. Nobody in the room actually owns it. The whole audience is on the stage. There is no one left in the seats. You are all renting the same illusion from each other, all night, every night, and calling it success. But someone does own the theater. It is just not any of you. Because your need to be seen is somebody's entire business model. Step back and follow the money. Who gets paid every single time you reach for the visible version instead of the plain one? The car brand. The fashion house. The lender who happily finances the exact gap between what you have and what you want to look like. They are not selling you wealth. They are far too smart to sell you that. They are renting you the appearance of it, by the month, forever. And the engine that runs the whole machine is the one part they never have to build, because it was already sitting inside you when you walked in. The need to be seen doing well. Say it plainly. Your insecurity is their recurring revenue. You are a subscription, and the product is you, feeling almost enough. And the quiet man in the dented car, he canceled that subscription years ago. That is the entire secret. He is not richer because he earns more than you. He is richer because he walked out of a game the rest of you are paying, every month, to keep losing. He took off the costume, and nothing happened, and that was the exact moment he got free. So how do you walk out too? Not with a budget, not with shame. With one specific move and 3 steps, and I am giving you all of it right now. Here is how you leave the theater. And I want to be clear about what this is not. It is not a budget. It is not deprivation. It is not becoming the person who is loudly, proudly cheap, because that is just the costume worn inside out, still performing, still begging the same audience to notice you. It is one shift, made on purpose. You move where the flex lives. You decide, deliberately, that the real flex, the thing that actually makes you feel good, is the part nobody can see. And then you make 3 concrete moves. Write these down. Move 1. The invisibility test. Before any purchase that has a fancy visible version and a plain cheaper one, you stop and ask yourself a single, honest question. Would I still buy this exact thing if it were completely invisible? If not one person I know would ever see it, or ever know I owned it. If the answer is yes, buy it, enjoy it, it is genuinely for you. If the answer is no, then freeze, because you just caught yourself. You were never buying the thing. You were buying being seen with the thing. That is the costume, and you just felt it in your hands before you put it on. Move 2. Route the difference somewhere invisible. When the test catches you, do not just walk away feeling good. Take the actual money, the difference between the flashy version and the plain one, and that same day, move it somewhere it grows quietly where no one can admire it. A savings account, an index fund, whatever quiet place your money goes to work. You are paying the status budget to your future self instead of to strangers. It is the exact same dollars. One version buys you 4 seconds of being seen. The other buys you a decade of freedom. Same money, wildly different owner. Move 3. Downgrade one visible thing, on purpose, and feel what happens. Pick one symbol and deliberately let it go. Drive the paid-off car another full year. Carry the plain phone. Wear the plain watch. Then watch closely. The sky does not fall. The strangers do not care because they were never really looking. And something in your chest quietly loosens. You are practicing being underestimated, and being underestimated is a quiet superpower because nobody expects anything from you, nobody competes with you, and you keep every single dollar you were about to spend proving them wrong. Now let me show you all three working together on one completely ordinary evening. It is Tuesday night. You are on the couch. The lease on your car is up, and the new model is sitting right there on your phone, and you can already picture it in the driveway and picture the neighbor seeing it. Your thumb is one tap from the deposit. That is move one's moment. You stop, and you run the invisibility test. Would I still want this exact car if literally no one ever saw me driving it? And the honest answer, sitting alone on your couch, is no. The pull was never the car. It was the driveway, and the neighbor, and the 4 seconds. So you close the tab. Then move 2. You take the deposit money, the $2,000 you were about to hand over, and right then, before the feeling fades, you move it into your quiet account. And move 3. You keep driving the paid-off car one more year, and every time you get in it, instead of feeling behind, you remember there is $2,000 quietly growing with your name on it. Nothing about your evening looked dramatic. You just sat on a couch and did not buy a car. But you got measurably richer, and no one saw a thing. So go back to the red light. 2 men, side by side, one Tuesday afternoon. One of them is wearing his wealth. The other one is keeping it. For years you were sure the man in the nicer car was the winner. Now you know the truth. One of them is paying, every single month, for the rest of his life, to look like something. The other one quietly became it, and never once needed you to notice. Real wealth was never the thing you could see. It was always the thing you could not. The paid-off car is the money that got to stay. The plain watch is the freedom you bought with the difference. The ordinary life on the outside is the extraordinary one on the inside, the one with options, and quiet, and no audience left to answer to. So carry the one line that unlocks all of it. Wealth is what you do not see. The moment a thing is built to be seen, stop and ask who it is really for, and you will feel the costume in your hands before you ever pull it on. And here is your one thing to try this week. Just one. The next time you are about to buy the version other people would notice, buy the plain invisible version instead, and move the difference somewhere quiet that same day. Just once. See how it feels to keep it instead of wear it. Because the richest person at that traffic light was never the one being looked at. It was the one nobody thought to look at twice. If this made you see your own costume, take it with you and subscribe so the next quiet idea finds you too.